Okay, for this one, you really have to pay attention to the question. This is number 5, the rebellion. When the fighting started, what did the slaves do to fight against the colonist? So your answer was the slave win the fight, and the France would come back. So it's asking what they did to fight at the beginning of the rebellion. It's not asking who won or anything like that. So that is covered right here. What happened in the early months of the rebellion? From the first night, the slave revolt was the largest and most violent yet experienced in the American colonial world. Enslaved people led rebellions on plantations throughout the North, burning fields, sugar processing facilities, and homes. So that's one thing that they did right there at the beginning. What did they do? Burning. They burned down things. They used fire as a weapon. So they burned down the fields and the houses and the sugar processing facilities, all of that. And then over here it says, armed with torches, guns, sabers, and makeshift weapons, they spread from plantation to plantation. They burned more than 1,000 plantations and killed hundreds of whites. So that's how they fought. So that's what that question is asking. And then down here on number 6, the white colonists who still had slaves during the rebellion were frightened that their own slaves would kill them. They wanted to find out about any plots against them. So what did they do to their slaves? How did they respond? How did the whites respond, the colonists? So you wrote, so they would keep them in a cave. I don't see any mention of that here, about the caves. What I was looking for is in this paragraph right here. So many whites panicked, sending frantic requests for military aid. So they're like, somebody send some soldiers to help us. And they asked Santo Domingo, Cuba, Jamaica, and the U.S., but they didn't get any help. And then other white colonists responded by increasing their repression, which means they got more controlling and more violent with their slave populations. And some of the white colonists actually killed their slaves because they were afraid that their slaves would kill them first. So rewrite those two and remember to read the answers back to yourself so you can tell if you need to change a word so it sounds just like your words are when you're speaking them.